Many of us are practicing social distancing and staying away from others or even staying home altogether. According to Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Matthew Feynman, it's best to stay about 6 feet away from other people.
Things that are, in this case, like the flu, like coronavirus, that are passed by respiratory droplet, which is something airborne, like that. The 6 feet rule is really where this comes into be, and that's why there's social distancing.
6 feet is generally the length a droplet from a cough or sneeze can travel from person to person. Social distancing can be beneficial during any cold and flu season, but it's especially important when there's community spread of an illness.
Keeping our distance from others, we are preventing this virus from doing what it wants, and that is infecting more and more people.
Skipping handshakes and hugs can also reduce virus spread. People should avoid touching their faces too, and washing hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds is important.
As you saw in that video, 2020 split us all up. In our homes, in our schools, and even in our work. In this mini documentary, we decided to FaceTime some people to see how they're doing in this pandemic.
The hardest thing about quarantine?
Yeah.
Not being able to hang out with friends.
I miss hanging out with friends because I recently got my license and I can finally drive friends around, but due to this quarantine, I can't really do that.
I would say the schoolwork, it is a lot more work than at school.
Hardest thing about quarantine is being away from friends and kind of just being stuck in this house, kind of just like with your family, and sometimes you get really bored of doing the normal things.
I miss hanging out with my cousins, and it's really fun.
The hardest thing about quarantine, I think, is just not being able to go out or be with people. A lot of my job and my life is based around gathering with groups of more than 10 people. And so that's been difficult. I realize my whole life kind of revolves around that. So not being with my students or not being with friends or family is difficult because I'm definitely an extrovert. So those things are difficult. So I'd say that's probably the hardest part.
Actually, but just because they're family, you kind of just don't see them too often, and that's kind of sad.
As we were interviewing people, we seeked out others to see if they had any words to say to you while you're at home right now, and to see what they're doing in their time of quarantine and the pandemic of COVID-19.
To make them feel hope, I would say that sooner or later this is all going to blow over, and I think sometimes the news makes it sound a little worse than it actually is, and eventually everything will go back to normal and everyone will be okay and things will just get back in line.
We will get through this, and just stay indoors and wash those hands, and we'll get through it.
Curves being flattened. Every day, step outside and recognize how beautiful the world is around you, and that will give you hope.
I think to make everyone feel hopeful is just this idea that we got this and that we're stronger than we think we are, and this whole idea of love the challenge. This is a challenging time for everyone, but we'll get through it and we'll be better because of it. And there's actually a lot of great things that are coming out of this. Like it's sad, and there's death, of course, and that's not great, and we don't want that, but there's also really cool things that are going to come from this, realizing that how technology can help us in different ways, and learning from our mistakes and getting better. So I think there's a lot of good that will come from this, but we just got to stay safe and stay home for now and work it out. So I think it'll be a really good thing eventually, but we just have to get through it together.
We need to remember that it'll all be over soon, and all of this work will be worth your time. and you'll get to tell your kids about what you were doing during the coronavirus pandemic. Yeah.
Thank you for watching this mini documentary. We hope that you're all safe.